And good morning, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another day, another time, another video. Today I wanted to shine some light on what's going on as far as the kids. And I say kids in general because I know, of course, my child is not the only child that's going through this emotional torture with transferring from one school to another school and these quadrants and not knowing the other teachers and having it's just so much. But I seen this video and I wanted to see exactly. Of course, this is not by me, but I want to see their perspective and what they had to say about what's going on with the students transferring from one school to the other, knowing that they start back. I thought we would have went through the whole shutdown thing again, but I'm gonna share my piece of what a little bit I'm gonna do in a few, but let's check and see what they talking about in this video. Unmute it and play. We are almost at 1 year into the pandemic. What happened did I stop it? Yeah, Megan, we're taking a look at how parents and children have been forced to adjust to this new normal when it comes to education. So many local families found themselves turning to Catholic schools for the in-person education that their kids needed. WCPO's Allie Kramer has a look at what lasting impact this may have.
A lot of students feel like they're missing out on monumental high school experiences, things like sports, prom, and graduation. But when it comes to missing out on their actual education, we're finding that some families are taking dramatic steps to get back to the classroom.
It was extremely difficult. I feel like I wasn't learning enough online.
Two high school students with similar struggles. Virtual learning just wasn't cutting it.
There wasn't much learning at all, really. I felt like just wasn't enough to actually learn very much.
Xavier Wiles says he wasn't getting enough out of his virtual education from Clark Montessori High School. After the first semester, he transferred to St. X.
It was very difficult to pay attention in class, and it's sometimes hard to hear what the teacher was saying.
Vikas Kathari transferred from Walnut Hills, leaving his friends and his spot on the golf team behind.
Between the first quarter and the first semester, we had 10 transfer students in, which is an extraordinary number for us.
Mike Deering, Assistant Vice President of Enrollment, says they've been in person the entire year.
When we thought about the welfare of the student, it eventually became pretty obvious that that was the right thing to do.
But transferring to St. X or another tuition-based Catholic school isn't financially attainable for many families. Tuition at St. X is just over $16,000 a year, but 43% of students do receive some assistance.
Of the $4.6 million in tuition assistance we give out, it is almost entirely need-based. So that's really unfair.
St. X does offer a virtual learning option, but nearly all students choose to attend in person.
Life in all aspects is continued here, and that's, again, part of what makes in-person learning so important.
Certainly a high school education is very important, but this also trickles down to some of the youngest students as well. Guys, you have more on that.
And that's exactly what I wanted to watch. And I don't know how I'm gonna find that video, but I'm just gonna give my little piece uh on how I feel about the whole schooling thing. And I'll share a little bit. Um okay, last week on no wait, I wouldn't even say last week. This was around the third. I got a phone call stating that it was an option if I wanted to keep my daughter at one school or, of course, go along with them transfer her to another school that's closer to home. And it bothered me in a way because it's just like my daughter attended that school for so long and she had busing to take her to school and bring her home, let alone she's on a walker. She has a disability. It's just so much about this whole story that really upsets me. And I mean, it was even to a point where I kind of felt like, is y'all making her go to a school that's closer to home to get rid of the buses? Because my baby need a bus. She's not going to school without a bus. She's on a whole walker. And then I remember calling the school, and the school saying, "Oh well, she can walk to school." My daughter is 9. I'm not about to let her walk to school. And then knowing how people drive these days, especially around a certain corner I live by, no way, no how. Unless you're going to come and pick her up in your car, she won't be there. Unless the bus gonna take her, cause I'm not. And then just like even the feeling of me having to take her to school in this construction on the street we're by, no, no, that's unsafe. Like her walking in the street with cars zooming, going fast, whatever, and she in the street just to get home, and in the street just to go to school. That is unsafe. Like I feel like my child's life is in jeopardy because this big fuss about her being absent. Well, if y'all would never transferred her, she wouldn't be absent. She'll be at school because her own bus was still coming by the house to come and pick her up to take her to her old school. And we done what? Like all of last school year before summer break, she was in the same bus, same people. They got used to her, comfortable around her, all that. They know how to fold up her walker, da da da. But just on the emotional side, it's been torture because all I've been hearing is my daughter cry and cry and cry. And I don't know what. Like, is it everywhere around the world they doing this quadrant crap? Like, you have to go to school by your home. And then not only that, it kind of made me think a little farther. Like I be, I feel like I overthink it a lot because it's just like with this Corona stuff going on and being closer to home, and then during quarantine we all had to stay in the house. So it's just like, say for instance, the school, like somebody in the school caught COVID, and a lot of students appeared sick. That's like the whole neighborhood, you might as well say. So what? They're just gonna shut us down and X us out because people would start dying, or I don't know. I'm not trying to speak that into existence, but it just really irritated me. This whole perspective. So what I did was being stressed out and overwhelmed, since they had the guts and the say so to transfer her into one school and dismiss her from another school, the same way they did that was gonna be the same way. They got her a bus to make sure she's at school every day. Cause I wasn't okay with the Indian. Like when I went up there and brought it to their attention, they just made it seem like they was their mama or daddy. Like, oh, we didn't need your say so. Why not? And then come on out, my daughter just got done, just ended last school year with being bullied, and now she got to face a whole nother building with a whole nother amount of students, whole different culture, and I'm supposed to be okay. I'm supposed to say, "Oh yeah, go ahead, first day tomorrow." No, that's not how it works. Not for me. Not for me at all. But I definitely wanted to get on here and speak about it a little bit because I would love to hear this. If I'm not the only one going through this, I would love to hear the stories because God only knows what I'm going through personally, and I have a disability as well as my daughter. and it's just like to a certain point. I feel like is y'all doing this because she got put in the book of disabled because I'm not seeing why she just got moved randomly. And she's been there for 4 years. And they had not one problem being transferred or nothing. And and I feel like the only good way I would ever feel good about this, because I don't think I ever will feel good about this change. But the only way I would have felt good about it is if I would have got a letter from the school district or a principal or a teacher saying, "Oh, well, starting school bags, your child will be attending this school and she will not be remaining in the same school." To at least give me a calm sense of, okay, we about to walk into something new. But no, I didn't get that. I don't even know a teacher name. I don't know her teacher's name. I'm talking about music, art, homeroom, none of that. I don't know nothing. And because of this person that did it, I'm assuming she gonna call me and tell me all this stuff. 'Cause I was never okay with the move in the get go. And I mean, yeah, I can't just call and go up there and ask, but I think I gotta feel comfortable with the change first. My stress level is like up to here, like up. Like I'm just not comfortable with it yet. But if anybody viewing this video know somebody going through this or similar or anything like that, make sure you comment down below. I love to hear your story, baby. I feel like if I was to hear somebody else's story and get some more understanding about like how they went through it or a better way of going through this, I'd be okay. Because right now I feel like I'm the only one. And for my daughter to be disabled physically and going through this, I'm not okay. I don't feel no good vibes at all. The only tinsy wincy part I ever felt okay was how warm the assistant principal was. But that's it. I still don't know him like that. But that's it. But yeah, just comment down below if you know anybody going through this, and I guess you ain't gotta share too much of your information. I would just love to see if I'm not the only one going through this. Cause I'm about to call the board of education because this is crazy. But if you new here, maybe I can't even get my words out. Like this video, subscribe down below. Come back next time for another video, and I'm out. Peace.